Man, oh man, does it feel good to be back on the airwaves. It's your boy, the SoCal Saint, back with an all-new edition of the IE Elite Wrestling Show. This is your direct feed for all that is professional wrestling on the only network that is your direct feed for all that is sports, IE Sports Radio. What is good, everyone? I hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday morning in the Pacific side of things. Here in the Central and Eastern time zones, I hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. What is going on, guys? Your boy, the SoCal Saint, is feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, and just ready to get it on and talk wrestling with all of my listeners and fans of IE Sports Radio and the IE Elite Wrestling Show. If you're not already doing so, please follow me at IE Elite Pod. That's at IE Elite Pod on Twitter. You can also follow at IE Sports Radio on Twitter. That is the hub for all of our shows. We all follow each other and we all base our shows off of that main page. And also, if you want to check it out, please do so. Check out our website at iesportsradio.com. And that's iesportsradio.com. That we have blog postings, pages for each show where you can listen to past shows and the newest shows after they are uploaded to the feed. If you're listening live on Spreaker, thank you very much. If you're listening on the download, on the many platforms we subscribe to, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on YouTube as well, thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy schedules to listen to the IE Elite Wrestling Show and the many other shows that we are affiliated with here at IE Sports Radio. Speaking of IE Sports Radio, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the head honcho, Larry B, and the rest of the team at IE Sports Radio, because if you haven't already done so or seen our postings on Twitter and also on our official IE Sports Radio Facebook page, that's IE Sports Radio, please, if you're wanting to get some fresh gear for the summer, t-shirts, tank tops, hats, please go to iesportsradio.com/shop. That's iesportsradio.com/shop. We are going to be celebrating, we're celebrating right now with an IE Sports Radio summer sale. There's only about, I believe, 5 days left in the sale. Head on over to IE Sports Radio shop and enter the promo code IESRSUM sale 23 to save 10%. From this past Sunday, it started on July 16th, and it's going to be going all the way till this Saturday, July 22nd. You can get some fresh gears, some tank tops, some t-shirts. I own an IE Sports Radio t-shirt. I'm going to see if I can find a shirt in my size. Probably not, because I'm a bigger guy, but hey, maybe I can get a shirt for my little guy or one of my family members, like my padre or my wife, so to speak. I want to get myself a hat because it's the summer. I'm bald. It's hot. It's over 100 degrees every day here in Texas, so I need something to shield my bald, shiny head from getting sunburned. So if you're needing some fresh gear for the summer, please go to iesportsradio.com/shop. Enter the code. Again, that code is IESR sale 23 for 10% off of your next purchase. Show some love to the IE Sports Radio family and drop some shekels in our basket for us, okay? And we actually have a new sponsor that I want to shout out with the IE Sports Radio. This is a person that sells premium brisket beef jerky. The company is called Planet Jerky. That's Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm. Man, that is awesome. The Lake Elsinore Storm, of course, is a single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. I grew up in Paris, California, which is not very far from Lake Elsinore. And same with my buddy, the head honcho of IE Sports Radio, Larry B. I know he goes to those games often with his wife. And they have a blast. I always see their pictures, and they're always commenting that they're at the games, having a great time. If you're in the Lake Elsinore or Paris area, check it out, guys. You will not have a bad time. It's always a great time there at the Lake Elsinore Stadium with the Lake Elsinore Storm. But I digress. This premium brisket beef jerky, this jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, low in sugar, and high in protein. That's exactly what you want and need. It's healthy, delicious, premium, all-natural jerky. This is some of the best jerky you can get your hands on, and for a limited time, you can win 4 tickets to see the storm or 4 bags of jerky. All you have to do is visit planetjerky.net, place your order, follow Planet Jerky at Planet Jerky on Instagram, and DM them that you bought your jerky after hearing this ad. Mention the ad that you heard on IE Sports Radio, on many of our numerous shows. Mention this one specifically, IE Sports Radio's premier wrestling podcast, the IE Elite Wrestling Show, and you heard it here first. And you will then be entered into a raffle that ends Tuesday, August 1st. Once again, huge shout out to our sponsor, Planet Jerky, premium brisket beef jerky. The jerky that's on a whole other planet. Ooh, yeah. And before we get started into the festivities, I think that hurt my throat a little bit doing that Macho Man. Sorry, guys. Anyway, just before we get started, I just wanted to, we're going to hear from one of our many IE Sports Radio shows that is actually going to be coming on today here on the network. Because next up, after my show is off the air at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, it's the Buffalo Huddle with Patty Bax. And we'll be right back with some wrestling news.
Are you a fan of Buffalo sports? Are you thinking of changing loyalties and becoming a Buffalo sports fan? Do you even know where Buffalo is on the map? Did you know Canada is closer to Buffalo than New York City? Welcome to the Buffalo Huddle, every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 4 p.m. Pacific Coast Time on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your host, Patty Bax. This is a podcast designed for you, the passionate sports fan. I know you love your sports. Who doesn't? I cover Buffalo sports and so much more by bringing in the human elements. I call it Buffalo sports with a twist. Join me as we take a journey into the world of Buffalo sports. I guarantee you'll fall in love with Buffalo just like I did. Each week we start with an inspiration, question of the day, a Buffalo fun fact, and our weekly challenge to you, the listener. Come huddle up with me every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 4 p.m. Pacific Coast Time for the Buffalo Huddle with Patty Bax on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. As we say in Buffalo, go Bills!
What's good, guys? If you're still here listening live to the IE Elite Wrestling Show, it's your boy, the SoCal Saint. Thank you again for tuning in live. If you're listening on the download, please and thank you. I do appreciate it. Show some love. Please do not hesitate to give us a like, leave a comment if you're entertained. I really would appreciate it. It would help us out greatly. And what else would help us out if you're just now tuning in? Please check out iesportsradio.com/shop and get some fresh gear. Show some love to the IE Sports Radio family. Throw some shekels in our basket and buy some shirts, tank tops, hats. We have hoodies. Check us out, guys. check out the iesportsradio.com website if you're into listening to some old episodes that you've missed of many of our many awesome shows, especially my show, the IE Sports premier wrestling podcast, the IE Elite Wrestling Show, and the drop that you just heard for the Buffalo Huddle. Check out Patty Bax and her shows. If you haven't listened to her show, check it out. There's past episodes on the website and new episode coming tonight. Now, also, guys, please check out the sponsor for IE Sports Radio, Planet Jerky. Sorry, I didn't mean to have that weird pause in between that. I meant to transition smoothly, but I took a sip of water in between that. Check out Planet Jerky, the premier brisket beef jerky. It is they are a premier sponsor for IE Sports Radio and for the Lake Elsinore Storm, the 2022 California League champions. Check us out. Check them out. Show some love to Planet Jerky and to IE Sports Radio, guys. So, I took a week off. I mentioned it in the last episode that I had before I took my week off. I had a family vacation schedule that went great. It was great to spend some time with my grandmother, my dad, my sisters, my wife, and my son. It was great to see my niece and nephew. I had a blast. My batteries are recharged, and I'm ready to get to it and talk about wrestling with you guys. I kept up with things going on in the wrestling world while I was away because I didn't want to be completely out of the loop, so to speak, while I was away from the podcast world. And, man, there is a lot of stuff that's happened since I was away. So I'm going to have to backtrack. There was one thing I wanted to mention that I did not get a chance to mention on the last episode, which is it's a really bummer, but I feel I need to pay the respect due to this man with everything that happened in his career and life after. But on June 30th, I know this is a while back, this is a couple weeks ago, and it just totally spaced on the last episode that I did, but I just wanted to take time and show my respect and pay my respects to WWE legend superstar Darren Drozdov, who passed away at the age of 54. This is a statement from the family of Darren Drozdov. We are sad to share our beloved Darren has passed away this morning of natural causes. There are no words to convey the deep sense of loss and sadness we are feeling right now. Darren, affectionately known as Droz, was involved in a tragic ring accident while wrestling for the WWE in 1999 that rendered him a quadriplegic. Nevertheless, Droz maintained a championship mindset and lived every day to the fullest, even though he was unable to move from the neck down for the past 24 years. His own words sum up his relentless positivity in the midst of adversity. There's always another day. Just because I'm paralyzed and stuck in a wheelchair doesn't mean my life is over. I've learned to live again, and my life is far from over. Very, very poignant words. If anybody out there is feeling just like the world is just crushing you, there's a huge burden of pressure on your shoulders, heed these words from the late Darren Drozdov and take solace in these words, because this is definitely some wisdom here. And I speak for everyone here at the IE Sports Radio family, and for myself with the IE Elite Wrestling Show. Condolences and prayers to the family of Darren Drozdov. And like it was mentioned in this posting here by his family, it was a SmackDown taping in 1999. I don't know if some old school wrestling fans will remember that WWE started running these ads prior to their shows, that would say, it was a video talking about don't try this at home. I don't know if anybody remembers that. Larry B is in the chat room right now. I don't know if you remember seeing that whenever you used to watch wrestling, and it was like a black and white video showing wrestlers doing these crazy things, and there's a quick clip in that promo package of a man being stretchered out of the ring. That is the only footage that has ever been released of Droz's accident that caused him to become a quadriplegic. It was a match with D'Lo Brown where he was supposed to be powerbombed from the corner. This was a move that D'Lo did hundreds of, if not thousands of times. The shirt that Droz was wearing, this is what they both attribute the accident to, was like a mesh, like kind of slippery type of material. And whenever D'Lo picked up Droz for the powerbomb, he lost his grip on him, and Droz was dropped right on the top of his head, breaking his neck, and causing him to become a quadriplegic. The beautiful thing about Droz is that he never blamed D'Lo. It was a horrible accident. D'Lo, did not do this on purpose. I know D'Lo Brown has dealt with it for years. The stigma that he might have been unsafe. I know that had to affect his career in some way and his mindset, but Droz always reassured him that after the accident happened, that it was never his fault. They were always on good terms up until his death. It was just a horrible thing that happened, and it was after that happened is when WWE started running those "do not try this at home" messages. So, fans, if you're listening, if you got young kids at home, it's entertainment, but you can physically become hurt if you do not know what you're doing, if you're not properly trained. So kids, if you're listening, do not try this at home. So rest in peace to Droz. I just wanted to take time to share that and send my condolences to his family, since I did not get to on the last episode that I had here on IE Sports Radio. So we got some AEW news here. Colt Cabana, former member of the Dark Order and former Ring of Honor World Television Champion, is now working backstage at AEW once again. He is now hired on to be a coach/match producer going forward. A lot of the tension between the Elite and CM Punk that happened at the Brawl Out fiasco last year, a lot of it stems from the treatment of Colt Cabana once CM Punk came into the company. Colt Cabana and CM Punk famously used to be really good friends until the big lawsuit that happened between Punk and Cabana and the doctor for the WWE, suing them for the podcast that they did together, where Punk was talking about, basically accused the doctor of malpractice. If you believe what Punk says, it definitely sounds like a clear-coat thing of malpractice. But whatever the case was, somewhere in between that lawsuit and the result of the lawsuit turned into a feud between Punk and Cabana, where Cabana ended up taking Punk to court, yada yada. There's this whole big drama mess, and apparently Punk had something to do with Cabana getting ousted of AEW, which really upset Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson, which I believe is where the whole issues between the Elite and Punk started, before the whole Brawl Out fiasco exacerbated those feelings. But it's good to hear that Cabana is not out of a job. Cabana's back in the company, and he is working Wednesday nights on Dynamite, helping producing matches and coaching the young talent there in AEW. Speaking of AEW superstars, this past Wednesday, Nick Wayne, the 18-year-old Nick Wayne, has finally made his debut on television. And he, in a losing effort against Swerve Strickland, it was a good match. But Nick Wayne has been announced for a big show here in the United States for New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's going to be called the All-Star Junior Festival USA 2023. And it's actually going to be taking place in probably the most famous bingo hall in all of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The bingo hall I am talking about, of course, is known as the 2300 Arena. To us fans, it is known as the ECW Arena. Yes, the formerly known ECW Arena is going to be hosting New Japan Pro Wrestling August 19th. And Nick Wayne has been announced for the festival. The IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Hiromu Takahashi has been announced for the event. And Rocky Romero has been announced for the event from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Tickets are on sale now. You can get the tickets at the 2300arena.com or at New Japan NJPW Wrestling. You can look up their official website and get tickets there as well. No matches have been yet announced for that event. A story did come out 3 days ago from All Elite Wrestling. And it was a list of banned moves. Apparently there is now a document that was floating around the internet listing a lot of maneuvers that they cannot no longer do in all elite wrestling, and this was taken with a grain of salt because of the source. The source is Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, and this is what he said here. I actually have heard from a lot of guys. I asked a lot of guys, but it's like the story is obviously true. You know, I mean, everything that you read and everything like that. I mean, there's a list and all this, but like, it's really like aside from the fact that Bryan Danielson did the convulsing thing once that nobody really thought was a good idea, so it will never be done again. Whether they had a rule against it or not, it still wasn't going to be done again. The list of the moves here, I'm trying to find that list. It was a lot of things on the list. Here we go. I found it here. Trying to bring it up here. I had it in my notes. I don't know why it's not popping up for me. Here we go. I believe I found it. These are the notes and the banned moves by the company. Buckle bombs, that's turnbuckle power bombs, a power bomb into the turnbuckle. Chair shots to the head, chair shots to the back of the head, which should never be done anymore since the whole CTE became, widely known, especially in the world of football and in pro wrestling as well. So definitely no one should be getting hit in the fucking head with a chair. It shouldn't even be written down. That should just be a rule without saying, you know what I mean? Blind moves going backwards into turnbuckles, fencing responses on natural positions of arms following a concussion, seizure cells. I think that's what Meltzer was talking about Bryan Danielson convulsing, that type of stuff, spitting, bleeding in the crowd, the use of weapons or projectiles in the crowd, taking drinks or food from people in the crowd. That definitely is in response to what happened with MJF a few months ago when he grabbed a beer and chucked it in the face of a child in the crowd. Not cool. Taking drinks, any other physical contact with the crowd. And it does say, out of all those things, it does not mention anything about blood being thrown into the crowd, which I hope that also goes without saying, just like chair shots to the head. So, spots on or bumps on the ring apron or the outside, because everyone knows that the hardest part of the ring is the ring apron. Table, ladder, and chair spots in and out of the ring, allowed only with padding, apparently. Any elevated spots outside of the barricades, dives, and ladder spots on the stage, around the arena, and other places outside the ring. All pile driver, tombstone variations, including sit-down drivers, inverted poison hurricane ranas, vertebreakers, high-risk dives or top rope moves, 450, 630, double moonsaults. Intentional bleeding, not just blading. Throwing people into, through, over the ring steps, commentary table, bell table, guardrails, barricades. There's a whole lot of stuff here. Will any of the wrestlers actually be listening to this? Probably not, because I was hearing that Tony Khan, if given a reason by the wrestler, he will apparently be a little laxed on these banned moves, which he really shouldn't be for the safety of these wrestlers. I feel like this actually comes in response to a Twitter handle that I actually follow, a Twitter page called AEW Botches. He gets his videos flagged quite a bit by AEW's whoever runs their social media accounts or whatever. But a lot of his videos have to do with showing the terribly unsafe things that a lot of the wrestlers, mostly a lot of young wrestlers, but a lot of the veterans too have been accused of doing in AEW. A lot of spots where it looks like somebody is going to need to go to the hospital, someone has been concussed, so on and so forth. So I almost want to give credit to AEW Botches because of that. It's just, it's unsafe to do these type of moves, especially with, what we know today, especially with concussions. You have to take care of. Yes, Larry B in the chat room. Shout out to Larry B. He says you need to take care of your fans and your wrestlers. Most definitely, your wrestlers are what the fans come to see, and you want to prolong their careers, the longevity of their careers. I know wrestlers like to talk about having a quote unquote bump card, and that's how they call it, like how many times they could take a bump until they've just had enough. Their body says enough. I just recently watched the A&E biography of Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was fantastic. If you haven't seen it, it's actually up. It was actually uploaded just a couple nights ago on A&E's official YouTube page. So check it out, guys. If you're listening, if you want to check out a really good documentary that's not, I mean, technically it's WWE affiliated, but I mean, they go into a lot of his personal life before wrestling and after his retirement, so to speak. But Austin talked about how his body broke down after all the years of running hard on the road. You know, basically being on the road damn near every day for 5 years strong. His final match with The Rock, how like he just felt this weight come over him whenever he had his shoulders counted to the mat. And it goes into great detail about what happened at SummerSlam 1997 when Austin was dropped on his head by Owen Hart in a very, very botched tombstone piledriver where Hart, instead of going to his knees, dropped to his ass, and Austin's head was not protected. If you watch that footage, especially in slow motion, you can see that Austin's head hits the mat first before Hart's butt hits the mat, and it's just straight boom, like he was like a jackhammer just going straight into the ground, just head first, top of his head, boom. And for about 5 minutes or so, Austin was a quadriplegic. And that's how he puts it in the documentary. He said it was very scary. He lost all feeling in his body. He said his triceps, his shoulders were on fire. They were tingling. He couldn't feel his feet or his hands. It was a very scary, scary spot. And that could have been the end of Stone Cold Steve Austin's career right then and there. But luckily, he regained feeling in his appendages, was able to finish the match, if you call it that, it wasn't his neck. A lot of people, he even clarified that it wasn't. Yes, he was dropped on his head, but he did not break his neck. What happened was he bruised his spinal cord from that terrible, terrible spot. So a lot of people always want to gripe on wrestling, saying that wrestling is fake. For a man to, in respect, God rest his soul, to Darren Drozdov, he got dropped on his head and couldn't walk again, couldn't move his arms again for the last 20-some odd years of his life. Stone Cold Steve Austin damn near had that happen to him as well. So, wrestling, yes, the winners and losers are predetermined. But what happens in the ring is 100% real to the athletes that perform those actions. And you have to take care of yourself, and you have to trust that the person you're in the ring with is going to do the same. Taking care of you, you take care of them. You guys are doing this together, and you want to walk into the ring and leave the ring the same way you entered. Another record-breaking milestone for the Intercontinental Champion of the WWE, the Ring General, Gunther. As of July 15th, Gunther has surpassed 400 days as the reigning WWE Intercontinental Champion. This was 3 days ago, so now he is just 52 days away from beating the all-time record set by the Honky Tonk Man, who held the Intercontinental title for 454 days between June 2nd, 1987 and August 29th, 1988. So Gunther is just 52 days away, guys, from breaking the all-time record for longest Intercontinental Championship title reign, and I definitely think he's going to break it. I don't see him losing the title anytime before then. I'm just bouncing all around here, guys. I got some. This is technically some Mexican wrestling news, but he is an AEW superstar. Rey Fenix, one half of the Lucha Brothers, announced via Instagram he's vacating the AAA Latin America and Cruiserweight Championships. He's done wrestling for AAA for now, as he has become too busy with other promotions. Phoenix won these titles last June in 2022 and has never been able to defend them. So he's been holding these titles for over a year, and not once was he able to defend them against anyone. So now the titles are vacated, and the AAA will be crowning new Latin America and Cruiserweight champions here in the near future. This is awesome. I'm really glad to announce this. The son of wrestling legend Umaga. Yes, the late, great Umaga. The son of Umaga, Zilla Fatu, made his in-ring wrestling debut for Booker T's Reality of Wrestling out in Houston. Yes, another member of the bloodline, the cousin of Jimmy and Jay Uso, the cousin of Solo Sikoa, and the cousin of the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, has made his debut in professional wrestling just this past weekend for Reality of Wrestling. Congratulations to Zilla Fatu. Hopefully he has a long and safe career and does his father proud. I know his father is smiling down on him from the heavens, and I know he's got to be proud. So I would not be surprised if at some point when his fine-tuning becomes pristine, WWE will start knocking on this kid's door, especially with the history of the Anoa'i family with the WWE. I feel like it's only a matter of time that Zilla Fatu will be right there alongside his cousins in the WWE. So congrats to Zilla Fatu for making a successful in-ring debut for Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. WWE released a press release announcing that The Undertaker's One Dead Man Show will be headed to multiple cities in the coming months. Louisville, St. Louis, Kansas City, Indianapolis, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh. The one-man show featuring The Undertaker returns Thursday, August 24th at the Kentucky Center Boomhard Theater in Louisville, Kentucky. Tickets are available at KentuckyPerformingArts.org. Other dates include Friday, August 25th, St. Louis at the Pageant. Tickets are available via Ticketmaster.com. Saturday, August 26th, Kansas City, Missouri at Uptown Theater. Thursday, November 9th, Indianapolis at Merritt Egyptian Room at Old National Center. Friday, November 10th, Cleveland at the Agora. And you can get tickets there at the agoracleveland.com. Saturday, November 11th, Pittsburgh at the Byam Theater. And you can get tickets there for trustarts.org. The rest of the shows I had noted here could be found at Ticketmaster.com. The one-man dead man show of the dead man himself, The Undertaker. If you're in those cities in the next coming months, check it out. It's the one time you'll get to see The Undertaker live, telling stories, probably telling jokes, giving you guys an insight into the career and life of The Undertaker that's never been given before since his retirement. Undertaker's become very open about his past in the company, and just I would love to see him come this way so I could actually attend one of those dead man shows. It'd be great to sit in the presence of a legend like The Undertaker and just hear stories of his time on the road in the WWE. I can't imagine how great that would be just to sit there and listen to just old stories told by an absolute bona fide legend like himself. In case you missed this past Wednesday night on Dynamite, the main event for this coming Wednesday, which is tomorrow, AEW Dynamite presents Blood and Guts. That is the double ring, double cage match. That is their version of the War Games match. Blood and Guts has been officially made. It will be the team of the Blackpool Combat Club, featuring Takeshita, Jon Moxley, the Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and the replacement for Bryan Danielson, who is out with a broken arm, the Bastard Pac, will be taking on the Golden Elite. That's right, you heard me right, the Golden Elite. The Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson, Hangman Adam Page, the Best Bout Machine Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi. Excuse me. Kota Ibushi will be making his AEW debut, and the reformation of the Golden Elite, of course, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi, famously known one time in New Japan Pro Wrestling as the Golden Lovers, the tag team, the Golden Lovers, the Golden Boy, Kota Ibushi reuniting with his best friend, I guess, and you could say lover, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Hangman Page to form the Golden Elite at the TD Garden this coming Wednesday. Blood and guts. You're not going to want to miss it, guys. This match is pay-per-view quality written all over it, and they're giving it away for you free on television. For that, I don't know why, but sure. Free on television for that. And some more AEW news. Apparently, AEW and Warner Brothers are going through a discussion and trying to revamp their deal. Fightful, this is coming from Fightful, reports that one of the major proposals from Warner Brothers to AEW is the extension of AEW's pay-per-view schedule. Warner Brothers has told Fightful that there is a very likely possibility of expanding AEW's pay-per-view schedule to one a month, and that's something Warner Brothers has been wanting for quite some time. Currently, right now, AEW pay-per-views are on a quarterly basis, but they would love to have a monthly pay-per-view basis, much more like WWE. So what do you think? I don't know. In my opinion, I guess, but I just don't know who has $50, $60 to shell out a month now for pay-per-views. I know some people do, especially for those UFC events, but I know those events are more expensive. I think they're upwards of like $80 if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, for me, I don't know. I don't buy AEW pay-per-views right now. I've bought a couple in the past when it first started, but I mean, there's really nothing about it that really gets me wanting to pay for it. You know what I mean? I may pay for All In London since it's going to be their first huge stadium show at Wembley Stadium. But I mean, I'm still going back and forth about that in my mind if I want to shell out the money for that. New Japan Pro Wrestling is going to be coming to Las Vegas, Sin City, guys. Saturday, October 28th. Sam's Town Live sees Fighting Spirit Unleashed. Tickets go on sale yesterday. Today. Tickets go on sale today at noon. So they're on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Fighting Spirit Unleashed, New Japan Pro Wrestling will be live at Sam's Town Live in Las Vegas, Nevada, Saturday, October 28th. Tickets are on sale now, guys, if you want to see live New Japan Pro Wrestling action in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is awesome. I definitely wanted to share this. This is crazy news here. GCW. That's Game Changer Wrestling. That's Game Changer Wrestling, the home of death matches, the home of Nick fucking Gage. Jeff Hardy has been announced. Yes, that's right. The charismatic enigma himself, Jeff Hardy, will make his GCW debut for the first time on August 4th in Detroit. This is going to be taking place live. I'm looking at the arena here. I'm trying to find the name. At Harpo's in Detroit. Live Friday, August 4th during SummerSlam weekend. And the event is called My Name Is. GCW My Name Is. Also signed for the event is going to be Boosie, Gringo Loco, Masha Slamovich, Blake Christian, Nick fucking Gage, Commander going one-on-one with Joey Janela, and the new Impact Wrestling X Division champion Lio Rush taking on Mike Bailey. Get your tickets at gcwname.eventbrite.com. That's gcwname.eventbrite.com. And you can watch it live on Fight TV Plus Friday, August 4th at 8 p.m. Jeff Hardy making his GCW debut. And let's go ahead and jump right into it since I mentioned Impact Wrestling. This past weekend, Impact Wrestling's huge Slammiversary. This was the 21st anniversary show, the 19th event under the Slammiversary name, but this is actually celebrating the 21st year anniversary of Impact Wrestling, formerly known as TNA Wrestling. This came place live on July 15th at St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario, to a sold-out crowd. These are the results of the show, starting with the pre-show. In a 6-person tag team match, we had Jody Threat and the Death Dolls, Courtney Rush and Jessica, defeating Sean Taraj, Giselle Shaw, Savannah Evans, and Jay Vidal by pinfall. And in the second match on the pre-show, it was for the Impact Digital Media Championship. Kenny King, with Sheldon Jean in his corner, defeated Joe Hendry to become the new Impact Digital Media Champion. And the night started off officially with the first match on the pay-per-view card, the Ultimate X match to determine the number one contender to the Impact X Division Championship. Kushida defeated Alan Angels, Jake Something, John Grisham, Kevin Knight, and Mike Bailey to become the new number one contender to the Impact X Division Championship. And in a tag team match for the Impact Knockouts World Tag Team titles, Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich defeated the Coven, Taylor Wilde, and Ken King to become the new Impact Knockouts World Tag Team Champions. And in a huge surprise to everyone, because I don't think a lot of us knew that he was released from the WWE, Team Canada, Scott D'Amore, and the newest signee to Impact Wrestling, Eric Young, defeated Bully Ray and Diener by pinfall, with Darren McCarty as the special guest referee. And I have an actual story about that. Eric Young was under contract to the WWE as far back as November of 2022. He was hired in a backstage capacity. According to the report here on WrestlingAttitude.com, Young asked for his release from the WWE around April of 2023, with the reason being that Vince McMahon had returned following the Endeavor deal. He did not want to work with McMahon in any capacity. Young told WWE he wouldn't work with McMahon due to moral, creative, and personal reasons. His release was granted, and he was able to return to Impact after a 90-day non-compete clause, which came up just before Slammiversary, and insert there. That's why Eric Young showed back up in his former glory, member of Team Canada, teaming with Scott D'Amore to be victorious over Bully Ray and Diener at Slammiversary. So Eric Young back in Impact Wrestling. In the next match on the card, as I mentioned earlier, it was for the Impact X Division Championship. Lio Rush defeated Chris Sabin to become the new Impact X Division Champion. A 4-way tag team match for the Impact World Tag Team titles. Subculture, Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster defeated ABC of the Bullet Club, Ace Austin and Chris Bay, Brian Myers and Moose, and Rich Swann and Sami Callihan to become the new Impact World Tag Team Champions. Eddie Edwards with Alicia Edwards defeated Frankie Kazarian with Tracy Brooks in a one-on-one match. Trinity, the formerly known as Naomi in WWE, defeated Deonna Purrazzo to become the new Impact Knockouts World Champion. A lot of title changes on Slammiversary, except one. In the main event for the Impact World Championship, Alex Shelley defeated Nick Aldis to retain the Impact World Championship. And just after the match was over, the former champion, the man who had to relinquish the title due to injury, who never lost the title, Josh Alexander, returned to Impact Wrestling and made it clear that he was coming for Alex Shelley and for his world title that he never lost. So actually a really solid show. Very awesome, solid show from Impact. A lot of praise I was seeing all over online on Twitter and on Facebook for the show. Very, very great show by Impact Wrestling. I'm telling you, a lot of people are sleeping on Impact because they're focusing on the two main ones, AEW and WWE. But Impact has been doing some great stuff. Steady, great business. Let's take a quick little break here, and we'll hear from one of our other great shows here on IE Sports Radio. I'm going to give a shout out to It's Drewski, the host of Heart of Texas. Take it away.
What's good, everyone? It's Drewski, the host of Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. On this station, we cover everything in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. From where we cover the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Stars, Dallas Mavericks, Dallas Wings, Texas Rangers, TCU, SMU, we cover it all right here every Wednesdays from 9 to 10 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you stay live with me on the Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's good, everyone? It's your boy, the SoCal Saint, and that drop you just heard was for It's Drewski's Heart of Texas show. That's live on Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. I gotta reach out to him. I've been following him just recently on the Twitter. He is a member of the IE Sports Radio family, and he's got to be local because I live in Fort Worth. He's always reporting and doing his show about the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and all those teams that he included are local, mostly local here, within about a 30-minute radius of travel time. So I've got to hook up with him and see if he'll come on the show and talk some wrestling, or maybe I can hop on his show and talk some Texas sports. Speaking of which, in just a few hours, I will be headed to the Texas Rangers game tonight against the Tampa Bay. Oh my God, what the hell is the name of the team? I just totally drew a blank. I know the city, but I can't remember the damn mascot. I'm going to the Texas Rangers game tonight with my father, my uncle, and my father-in-law. We're going to be sitting right there near first base. My dad won the tickets at a raffle at work, so I can't wait. And just want to give a shout out to Team Mexico. Viva la Mexico! Ay! Viva la raza! Thank you, Larry, the Tampa Bay Rays. But Viva la Raza, man. Mexico winning their 9th Gold Cup this past Sunday evening. I, of course, was at the quarterfinals where they qualified for the semifinal match. They defeated Costa Rica 2-0 in the Cowboy Stadium, the AT&T Stadium here in Arlington. It was fucking awesome to see that live. It was like I rejuvenated and became a football fan once again. I was totally immersed in it, and I was watching the game on Sunday in between taking calls at work. So man, it was great. I'm so happy for Mexico winning their 9th title. It's awesome. My dad was so excited, and I feel it was really great for us to be a part of that on their journey to see them victorious. This past Sunday at SoFi Stadium in LA was just the icing on the cake there. So back to wrestling. I'm telling you, man, it was. I have a lot of stuff to come up on. Speaking of Mexico, look at that transition. Damn, I'm good. It was just announced by WWE. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table, will be competing and defending his undisputed WWE Universal Championship against WWE Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio, as they will headline a live event at the CDMX Arena in Mexico City, Mexico on July 22nd, this weekend. I cannot wait to hear that. That's going to be cool. I'm going to try and keep up with the results of that show. Hopefully, some of my friends that live down there will actually, and some of my family will actually send me some footage. I think I do know some people that are actually going down there that are already down there. Excuse me, that are going to be going to the WWE event. But yes. This coming Saturday at the CDMX Arena in Mexico City, Mexico, Rey Mysterio versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship live in Mexico. If you're not already subscribing to Peacock, please do so. The prices, I have to admit, prices are going to be going up on the Peacock app. Only $1 though. They're only going up $1. So the $4.99 is now becoming $5.99. That's not much more for the basic plan, and you could get all the WWE live premium live events and this upcoming documentary that is going to be released at the end of this month on July 30th. A 2-hour documentary on the life and career of the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. It's going to be narrated by the Green Arrow himself, Stephen Amell. It's called American Nightmare, Becoming Cody Rhodes. And it's going to be live on Peacock, July 30th, only on Peacock. And speaking of Peacock, that is going to be the app that you can watch SummerSlam, which is coming to you guys live on August 5th. Live from Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. It's going to be Saturday, August 5th, coming to you live. And these are the matches that have been announced so far. Official as of last night on Monday Night Raw. For the World Heavyweight Championship, Seth freaking Rollins defends the World Heavyweight title one more time against the leader of the Judgment Day, Finn Balor. And made official the rubber match. Cody Rhodes goes one-on-one with Brock Lesnar. That's right, Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar are going to do it one more time, the rubber match. Cody's got a victory over Brock. Brock has a victory over Cody, and they're going to go one-on-one at SummerSlam. And before we hit SummerSlam on July 30th, this is going to be a big event for NXT here in the state of Texas, at Cedar Park, Texas, at the HEB Center in Cedar Park, Texas. It'll be NXT presents the Great American Bash, Sunday, July 30th, and we have 2 official matches already listed for that event. Dirty Dominic Mysterio or Wes Lee after tonight's NXT event, because tonight on NXT, Dirty Dominic Mysterio and Wes Lee will compete for the NXT North American title. And whoever wins that match will face Mustafa Ali for the NXT North American title at the Great American Bash. And the other official match that has been announced for the Great American Bash, Carmelo Hayes defends the NXT Championship against Ilya Dragunov. One-on-one, the Russian Bear versus He Is Him, Carmelo Hayes at Cedar Park, Texas, at the HEB Center at Cedar Park. That's Sunday, July 30th, the Great American Bash. And all that will be live on the Peacock app, on Peacock streaming live, Sunday, July 30th. And of course for SummerSlam, August 5th, Saturday, August 5th, streaming live. And if you're going to be in the Detroit area for SummerSlam, this has been announced. This is great. I love to share things, especially when it's for a good cause. Join the WWE Superstars for a special volunteer experience to support the Detroit community and fundraise for Connor's Cure. Connor's Cure, of course, is the WWE's charity that they started after the passing of a young, just a young boy who was a huge fan of professional wrestling and of the WWE, who passed away from pediatric cancer. In his memory, he was the first recipient of the Ultimate Warrior Award in the WWE Hall of Fame, so he will forever be remembered in the hallowed halls of the WWE Hall of Fame, being the first recipient of the Warrior Award, and the WWE naming a charity that's fighting to find a cure for pediatric cancer in his memory, Connor's Cure. On Friday, August 4th at Ford Field, fans will have the opportunity to pack 62,000 meals for those who are food insecure in the city of Detroit. 1,000% of ticket sales will be donated to Connor's Cure in support of the V Foundation for Cancer Research as we head into Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month this September. It's limited tickets available. Purchase today. Go to vfoundation.donordrive.com for more information. And the superstars that have already been announced to be there to help with this awesome volunteer charity event: Liv Morgan and the American Nightmare himself, Cody Rhodes. So, guys, get to spend some time with some superstars doing an awesome thing for people. Doing a good deed for people. You can't get no better than that. And I just want to say congratulations to Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Last night on Monday Night Raw, they became the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Their first titles in the company. After 8 long years, Sonya Deville is now a champion in the company. Chelsea Green, of course, returning to the company last year when Triple H took over creative. She is the real-life wife of the Indie Taker himself, Matt Cardona, a.k.a. formerly known as Zack Ryder in the WWE. So it was really great to see them win the championships, and they took the traditional championship photo with Triple H backstage at the gorilla position on Monday Night Raw. So congrats to them becoming the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. That's all I got for you guys. This has been really fantastic. I really missed being on the show. I know I was only gone for a week, but it's really great. I got to like I said, I rejuvenated my batteries. I'm back here. I'm live with you guys now. Again, if you missed the top of the show, please go to iesportsradio.com and visit our shop so that you can get yourself some IE Sports Radio officially licensed gear. That's t-shirts, that's hats, that's hoodies, tank tops, whatever you need for this summer and beyond. Check it out. Go to iesportsradio.com/shop. And where's the summer? I'm trying to get the code. If you want to save 10% on your sale, go, use the code IESR SUMSALE23. That's IESR SUMSALE23 to save 10% on your purchase between now and this coming Saturday, July 22nd. And again, please check out our newest sponsor for the IE Sports Radio. That is Planet Jerky. That's right, that's Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, the single A affiliate baseball team for the San Diego Padres. It's all natural brisket beef. It's gluten-free, no MSG, no sodium nitrate, low in sugar, high in protein, just the good stuff, good natural stuff. It's great tasting. I'm about to buy myself some. And if you purchase now and you mention this ad that you heard on the IE Elite Wrestling show, if you mention this ad, you'll be entered in to win either 4 tickets to see the Storm or 4 bags of jerky. Go to planetjerky.net. Place your order. Follow Planet Jerky at Planet Jerky on Instagram. DM them that you bought your jerky from hearing this ad, and you will then be entered into the raffle that ends Tuesday, August 1st. Again, huge shout out to our newest sponsor, Planet Jerky, Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet. Yeah! And with that, guys, I gotta say goodbye. I gotta get some stuff done here before I go to the Texas Rangers game tonight. I will be tweeting about it live, and I really enjoyed this time speaking with you about professional wrestling. I had a lot of news to keep up with. The news took up more time than talking about the results of Slammiversary, but we will be back again, guys, with more wrestling news next week. Same SoCal Saint time, same SoCal Saint channel. Thank you for tuning in. Take care, everyone. Peace.